Game, game, game. And in comes a man like ERF Boxing. Eric, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Very, very well. Did you watch the fight? Did you watch Harper Jonas?
Yeah, I've just finished watching it. What a fight!
What a fight! Talk on it. Talk on it. Talk to the people. Talk to the people.
In all fairness, I had it a draw because I had Harper winning the last round. But if for me, if anyone was winning that fight, it probably was Jonas.
Yeah.
But to me, what wasn't a bad result. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Oh, Matchroom this and Sky this." The fight was close. The fight wasn't a clear cut. If anyone was going to win the fight, it probably was Tasha.
Yeah.
Because I had a 1-up going into the last round.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, with Terri winning the last round, a draw was perfectly fine for me. I think she's probably happy with a draw because by all accounts, I think if it goes another 2 rounds, Tasha probably takes it. But what a fight. Definitely would love to see that again.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time that women's boxing went 12 rounds because these girls have shown they can fight. They can show they can do it. So
yeah. Well, before it goes 12 rounds, you know what? I'd rather see it go 2-minute 30 per round.
Yeah. The 2-minute rounds as well. It does take away some of it because there was times at the end of the 2 minutes, one person you would see either one of them getting on top of each other, but then the round finishes.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 2-minute rounds is short, so they do have to do a lot more in less time to impress. But I enjoyed the fight thoroughly.
It was a thoroughly enjoyable fight. Let's get into the chat, see what's going on. Where are we? This StreamYard thing is slower than the YouTubes. So I can see certain things in the YouTube that I can't see in the StreamYard, and I can't highlight them because I'm in the StreamYard. But anyway, I'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, I think the first adjustment we need in women's boxing is we need to go to 2 minutes. We need to go to 2 minutes 30, 2.5 minutes. These 2-minute rounds, these girls are doing it easy. So I would rather them adjust the round length into 2 minutes 30 from 2 minutes now. And I think that will make it more dynamic because these girls are finishing. Yeah. These girls are finishing fights with still something in the tank. So they're going too easy on them. Need to change the rules. I want to see it go to 2 minutes 30. So what's that? If that's 30 minutes. If that's 30 seconds and for a 10-round fight, that's 5 minutes more. That's 5 minutes more. So that's 5 minutes more of fighting. And people say only 5 minutes, but still 5 minutes more. It's still 5 minutes more of fighting. And like you just said, Eric, when the tide is turning, the tide can turn in those last 30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's about time people started giving the women's boxing a bit more respect because they've been showing it for the past few years at least on the mainstream with what Eddie's been doing with these girls, and even in America with the likes of Shields and whatnot, and Mayer and Casco and all those girls. But women's boxing is great. These girls are putting on shows, the competitive fights. They're very good fights. You can tell they are technically good.
Yes.
And it's good for the sport right now. It's brilliant.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. I mean, that was a very, very enjoyable from a technical perspective. I mean, I was thinking, oh my gosh, am I really going to do this? But I'm glad I did. I'm totally glad I did.
You could not tell the difference. You could not tell the difference between a men's fight and a women's fight technically in that bout because there's the little things they was doing. The inside fighting was brilliant from Natasha Jonas.
Lovely.
It was how she was catching and countering and the body shots. The fight itself, take away women and men, the fight itself was fantastic.
It was a fantastic fight.
And technically, the entertainment value, the toe-to-toe, they were in a phone booth the whole time. The whole time they were head-to-head. And fair play to the referee for letting them fight inside.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of referees like to break that up.
Yes.
But yeah, fair play to the ref for letting them fight inside and letting them work. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'd definitely watch a second fight with those two. I think Natasha Jonas definitely deserves a rematch.
Yes.
Because for me, out of the two, who was going to win that fight, it probably was Natasha.
Yeah.
Because I had a one up going into the last round.
Yes.
And if she had won that last round, which I don't believe she did, I think Harper sort of knew she was behind by a round.
Yeah.
And she came out and she put it on her, and I believe Harper she took the last round. So
that's interesting. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so a draw to me it's not the worst result in the world. That's not what Tasha wanted, but a draw wasn't a robbery. Like I've seen a lot of people saying it's a robbery. Tasha won by this. Like the rounds were close. They were close. The rounds were very close.
Yeah, very close indeed. Okay, I'm going to go into the chat. Where are we now? Okay, Big Boys Boxing said I scored it a draw, and I think it is a legit draw. They need to run it back. Yeah, I scored it 95-97 for Jonas. I think Jonas pulled away after she rocked Harper to her boots. Rocked Harper to her boots. What round was that? I think that was in the 8th round. I think. Rocked her to her boots, and then I had the last 2 rounds for Jonas. And apparently the Twitter world, the social media is blowing up. It's calling it a robbery. I don't call it a robbery. I just think that Jonas won on my scorecard.
Yeah, and I can't argue with that one bit. If you gave Jonas the last round, I can't argue with that. I just scored it how I saw it. I thought Terry did enough in the last round to get the last round. But if you scored it for Jonas in the last round, for me, you can't complain. I still don't think it's a robbery.
No,
because it all depends on how you want to score the fight.
Yes, indeed.
But it was close enough to be a draw. It was definitely close enough to be a draw.
Yeah, you could give it a draw. I just think it's a bit of a coward's way out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. I don't like draws in boxing. I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But I see a lot of you've got Liam Smith and Stephen Smith calling it a robbery and whatnot. Those two guys seem to forget that the brother who somehow won a decision against John Ryder, and they were crying, "Oh, people are talking rubbish. It was clear. Right? You seem to remember when he was on the other side of the boot.
Yeah,
when everyone was saying that John Ryder
was on the other foot. The boot was on the other foot. Yeah.
Yeah. They seem to forget that, so they need to be careful what they start brandishing about, saying that it was a robbery, because I think out of draws in boxing, that was probably one of the furthest away from a robbery. Yeah,
I don't see it as a robbery. I just see it as chicken on the part of that third judge who gave it 95. He chickened out. That was a chicken out.
Well,
he shouldn't be giving draws in the final totality. I know he's got a counter argument, but still, no, he shouldn't be giving draws out at this level. I mean, to me, it reminds me of the Triple G versus Canelo 1. I think most people had Triple G winning that, but they gave the safe result a draw. And he spoiled the whole thing, because then Canelo comes back and he's won the second one. So it spoils the whole thing. If they were just a bit more honest and say, listen, Triple G won it. Okay, he's won the first one. Okay, you think Canelo's won the second one? Fair enough. And then let's have a third. Let's have the third fight then. But now I don't care about the third fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they spoiled it.
It's the same with the Wilder Fury as well. The first fight, I don't understand where they got that draw from, but that was a draw as well somehow.
But that's weird.
Yeah, I don't like draws in boxing. I think if it is a draw, you should just have one more round. They've still got the gloves on. They're still thinking, just have a final round, and when it takes that,
well, maybe
that's how it should be done.
Or maybe
because draws in boxing is just pointless. It is a pointless result because your champion's still your champion. The challenger has come away with nothing but a draw. They don't gain anything from it.
Or maybe they should have. Maybe they should have a tiebreaker, a scoring system where there's a tiebreaker somehow.
Yep.
There's a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
something. A fourth judge, maybe a fourth judge who comes in when it's a draw, so it can't be a draw.
Yeah, the fourth judge scores it as well, and then if it is a draw with a 3, the fourth judge's card probably would come into effect then. Something like that, because I think. And
the fourth judge can never have a draw. The fourth judge can never have a draw. So if it goes to a draw, you bring in the fourth judge, and his card is never a draw. He's not allowed to score draws. Okay, so he's not allowed. The fourth judge is not allowed to score any round a draw.
I don't like it. I think the challenger they don't get anything from a draw. The champion does. They keep the belt.
Yeah.
But the challenger doesn't gain anything at all from a draw. It might as well be a loss on the record because they don't go away with the belt.
Yeah. It might as well be a loss. Might as well be a loss. Okay, so
it is,
yes, they really do need to make women's boxing 3-minute rounds. Well, I go with 2-minute 30. I'll go with 2-minute 30. It's 2 minutes now. Add another 30-second on each round, and you got 2-minute 30 and see how it goes. So that's what I like. That's what they should do, in my opinion. Sorry to repeat it, but if Clarissa Shields was fighting in my back garden, I'd close the curtains. OMG. OMG. Well, the problem for me with Clarissa Shields is she's not a power puncher. You know, she's got lots of volume, but it's not power puncher, and she's not silky smooth. And she's effective. She's effective, but she's not silky smooth enough for me to be able to sit down and say, well, she's not a power puncher, but I enjoy her silky smooth techniques. So she ain't silky smooth and she ain't a power puncher. So that's problematic when it comes to actually viewing the damn thing. James Jameson goes on to say women's boxing has been piggybacking off men's boxing. Put on an all-women's card and good luck selling that.
I don't think you wouldn't have that. It depends on what girls are fighting. But I think it. You're talking about selling it. It's that was free to watch.
free to watch. DAZN. DAZN ain't free. DAZN ain't free.
Yeah, but people already have DAZN, so.
Yeah, but it's not free though. DAZN ain't free though. DAZN ain't free.
If you already have it, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And whoever's just said that, you watch the fight. You could have watched you could have watched every other fight and missed the main event. You still watch the main event.
You still watch the main event. How do you mean? Because
he said women boxing is piggybacking off men. You didn't have to watch the main event. You knew it was a women's fight. People knew it was a women's fight, the main event. They didn't have to watch it. People are choosing to watch it. I think choosing to watch the women's boxing. Yeah, I think
the point is that at the top level, then you can have some good women's boxing, but on the whole, I think there's a question mark, about women's boxing in general.
Start somewhere.
Yeah,
you have to start somewhere. If we keep saying that about everything, nothing will get off the ground, will it?
Okay, so effectively, I think what's being said is that women's boxing is not there yet. Women's boxing is new. But it still doesn't diminish the fact. It still don't diminish the fact that, he's right. You're not going to watch. Would you watch an all-women's card? Would you be inclined to watch? Yeah. Would you be inclined to watch? I think I could watch it on the basis that the top fight, the headline fight, would be a good one. So I'd have it on I didn't watch this card. To be honest with you, I watched this card for the headline. I didn't watch this card. I watched this woman for the headline. And likewise, if it was an all-women's card, I probably wouldn't watch the card. I'd just have it on in the background. If something catch my eye, I watch what catches my eye. But I didn't watch this card either. I wasn't overly enthralled by the thought of this card. I only tuned in for the women's fight because I've seen Terri Harper fight once before, and it was a nice little technical little scrap. Nice little technical scrap. So I thought, okay, I'll watch Terri Harper. She's a champion now. So I watch her. I've never watched Jonas before. Never in my life. But I thought, well, let me, Terri Harper's fighting. Let me watch it. I wasn't expecting nothing from it. I thought this Jonas girl, she's going to come and roll over. But no, was I wrong? And like I said, even before, I made a Twitter post. I said, Harper's going to pick Jonas off at range. I'm going to pick her off. And much to my embarrassment, Jonas responded with a like. She liked my post. I'm not sure she really liked it. She was her way of saying, you're going to see, Rafi. You're going to see. I'll show you, Rafi. I'm going to send her an apology on Twitter and probably invite her out for a meal at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ as a form of apology.
Jonas was a very good amateur.
That's right.
A very good boxer. So people didn't. I actually had Harper to stop her in the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Harper would be too much for her, but then again, I was wrong.
Well,
I'm happy to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to be wrong because we got a very good fight out of it.
We did. We got a great fight out of it. Let me go into the chat. The prudent man says, let's not get carried away. You can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. But then on the flip side of that, there came a point in tennis. I think I said this before. There came a point in tennis back in the DAZN when the men's game went to the power serve. You had guys like Ivan Lendl, and it was just, lob the ball up, boom, smack. I don't know, 100-mile-an-hour serve. Nobody can get it. And then it was on to the next point, smack. And at that point, it was just a power serve. The game was about the power serve. There was no serve and volley. Forget about serve and volley. It was just bang. Whoever had the hardest serve. And at that point, I started watching the women's game more so than the men's game. Am I saying it's going to be like that with boxing? Highly unlikely. But what I am saying is that I like the serve and volley game of the ladies. Your Steffi Grafs. This is going back in the DAZN. I like the serve and volley game of the ladies. And so I preferred, when Wimbledon came around, I thought, forget about the men. Let me watch the more technical thing. So if the women can continue to get more technical, then it will make the women's game more appealing. Whereas right about now, it's kind of, it's in its infancy. So it's not there yet, but fights like this, technical scraps like this were very interesting and very pleasing to the eye. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Why is it no woman boxers seem to be able to move the head effectively? Yeah, they're not into the I haven't watched women's boxing enough to be able to say that or be able to comment on that. I haven't really observed that from them. But that's an interesting point. It's certainly something I'll look out for in the future. The last round of Wilder versus Fury 1 should have been scored a 9-8 round to Wilder. Knocked down, but then dominated. Yeah, was it a 9-8 round? I don't know because Fury came back. I think the last round, the fight should have been finished because any other ref would have waved that fight off. That's my personal opinion. No, a golden round if after a draw is announced. Yeah. Because they seem to have the energy for it. So, yeah, in fact, if they don't want to go to the golden round, they're going to put it all out in the last round in regulation time. So, yeah, absolutely. If Katie Taylor was fighting in my back garden, I'd tell her to get off the ground. OMG. Katie Taylor, I saw her in an interview. She looks kind of rugged. She looks like a rugged girl. You know what I mean? Rugged. Men's boxing ain't doing ish anyway. So the women want to fight. Let's have it. Get off me lawn. Uncle Burnt apostrophe up in the building. How come the women's MMA is so much more comparable quality to the men's though? Well, maybe women's. Well, I can't say it's been going longer than the women's than women boxing. comparable.
It's been streamed more. It's been more mainstream, the women's MMA game with the UFC.
Yeah, that's the difference. Women's MMA has been more mainstream than women's boxing. Yeah, maybe that is the difference. But it's an interesting question for Foul Shao. She's biz up in the building, and also for all your what do you call it? For all your design needs, go to check out TW Designs. You need a website built. You need graphics, you need headers, etc., etc., etc. Go to TW Designs. Look them up on the web. I couldn't see an all-women's card. Hard sell, I think. Well, I think it's the headline. I mean, there are cards which I wasn't watching this whole card. You know what I mean? I was sleeping. I woke up. I was knackered. Had a sleep. Felt a little bit refreshed when I woke up, but not tremendously. It's 80 degrees over here at nighttime. It's 26 minutes to the midnight over here in the UK, and the Raphael Dawkins headquarters, Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio headquarters it is 80 degrees with a fan. I hope the fan isn't too audible. So yeah, it's I had to get popped to the shops in the motor, headed back, felt a little bit more refreshed, had the windows down. Yeah, the cool breeze kind of helped rejuvenate me. I decided to go live at the last minute. And then boom. It's a good thing I did, because that was a damn good scrap. What about Ronda getting exposed? Yeah, Ronda got exposed badly. She got her ass spanked. She was like first gen. She was like the first start of MMA, so she was like first gen. First gen in anything. Remember the first PlayStation? Eric?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
That was first gen.
Yeah, but like I said, you see Ronda get exposed, but then that just showed how much the girls in MMA had progressed.
Yeah.
From when Ronda came in, because Ronda was doing the same thing every fight and winning every fight, and then the girls obviously got better and evolved. Like I said, they evolved the game, and now the women's MMA game is very good, very technically.
Yes, it has evolved. Andy Murray is one of the greatest serve returners the sport has ever seen. Is he? I don't know. I never really watched Andy Murray. By that time, I think I'd quit. I'd quit with tennis by that time, so I never really watched him. I did think did he win Wimbledon one time? I think I saw that. Did Andy Murray ever win Wimbledon? I think I saw that.
I don't know. I don't watch tennis.
Okay, so Serrano does move her head. Serrano. Okay, she moves ahead.
Yeah, but Serrano don't want to fight nobody.
Damn. What's the point in her moving ahead if she don't want to fight nobody?
Yeah, she's fighting girls that she should beat. It's easy to move your head against girls that are throwing one punch around.
Yeah. OMG. Hey, James, from what I've heard, have to agree with you there. Just talking about their quality in recent years as I've followed it. I don't know what you're talking about, Uncle Berntifastri. Maybe you're talking about the MMA. Maybe he's talking about the MMA. Doesn't seem much of a drop off. Yeah, the women. Yeah, but you have to remember this is like the second gen. This is like the second gen in the women's game. And I think the women train alongside men more often in MMA. Maybe, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you got jiu-jitsu. They train amongst men in jiu-jitsu can get very kind of awkward. You know what I mean? When you got a woman in kind of in compromising positions on you, kind of pinning you down, with the thing in your face. It's awkward. But anyway, no sex joke. Too late for that. Sorry. Jack Reese was brilliant. Exactly how a referee should act in the last round. Jack Reese. I don't know about Jack Reese. He should have waved it off. Any other referee would have waved that fight off.
No. I
No, hold
disagree
on.
with
No,
that.
Eric. If a guy drops down on the ground and it looks like he's unconscious, any other referee waves it off.
I agree with you. Every other referee waves it off, but it proved he did right not to wave it off because Fury got up and spanked Wilder in the last round.
Yeah, but does that make it right? Does that make it right?
I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from because I generally thought it probably should have been waved off at the time. I thought that was it. It was done. But Jack Reese was proved right to let it go.
Well, was he though? Was he proved right? Because
he was. He was proved right.
Another way, because I've said what you're saying, but let's flip it another way. Let me introduce something that I've never introduced before. Okay, let's look at this concept. It could be said, I might get slaughtered for this. I might get slaughtered for this across the UYT YouTube BC boxing community. I could get slaughtered for this, so I better add a proviso to this or a caveat to this. It could be said, I'm not saying this, I'm saying hypothetically, it could be said that Fury, after he got knocked out unconscious, when you've had a good sleep and you wake up feeling fresh?
Yep. No, I'm not having that one.
Hey, I'm just giving a hypothesis. I'm just giving a hypothesis, and I don't want anybody saying that. I don't want anybody saying that Rafi said this, because for all you know, people out there, I could have got this in an email. So it could be said. It could be said that when Fury took a nap. Hold on. When Fury took a nap there, he came back with an unfair advantage because he was unconscious, got knocked out cold, woke up feeling fresh as a daisy, and that's why he was able to come back and do what he did. Over to you, Eric.
I've seen that 1-2 combination or that straight right left hook combination. Fury got hit with the right hand. He was on his way down, and he rid the left hand. He rid the left hook. He was not knocked out. He was hurt. Don't get me wrong, but Fury was knocked out. I don't believe it was 1 second he was ever knocked out. He was hurt, but he wasn't knocked out. And I thought Jack Reese, in the end, with the outcome, did the right thing.
The outcome, he did.
If Fury got up and he was on wobbly legs and Deontay Wilder hit him again and then he went to sleep, we would have been saying Jack Reese should have called it off. So hindsight is a beautiful thing.
Hindsight, well, yeah, hindsight. But where's the hindsight though? Where's the hindsight? Where's the hindsight? Jack
Reese saw it.
Hindsight. What does hindsight say in this situation?
Well, in hindsight, he did the right thing.
He did the right thing.
Because he let it go and he got up and Fury won the round.
Well, that's an argument. But the other argument is that any other ref would have waved it off. But hindsight, that's what you say. That's where hindsight comes into it. Yeah. It's a tricky one. Obviously,
it is.
I'm not really invested in either because neither are my favorite fighters.
I'm the same.
So I'm not really invested in it. I just discuss it from a hypothetical point of view. I discuss it from a hypothetical point of view. I can see. I've said what you were saying in the past, and I'm just saying it's very interesting. What I am saying is that if any other ref would have waved it off, which they would, then I don't see. That means that you can't really get too upset that while the Fury wasn't awarded the fight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that definitely. Yeah, because there's two sides of the coin here. Because if they had waved it off, there wouldn't have been a draw. While they would have won by knockout.
Yes.
So because Fury got given that chance to get up, then he got a draw out of it.
Yeah.
So, I can see where you're coming from with that. I can.
Yeah.
But still, by him getting up, I still think it wasn't a draw anyway. But there we go.
Yeah. So it's the flip side. There's two sides of the coins on this. Rafi has a ZX Spectrum. Yeah, I've had mine upgraded though. I got the upgrade. I got the attachment. You know what I'm saying? ZX Spectrum. That's like Sinclair. You probably don't even know the ZX Spectrum. That was like one of the first household one of the first household types of computers. Pretty crap. But at the time, it was like some kind of miracle shizzle. Where we at?
And I've got to go.
Yeah,
as I'm just leaving work.
Eric, great for jumping on. Thank you very much indeed. Great to have your input. And yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your night and catch you next time. Okay, bro. Take care.
Right.
100%. That was ERF Boxing. Much thanks for him to jump on. Andy Murray won Wimbledon twice. Wow. Twice. Wow. I didn't know he won it twice. I think I saw him win it once. I didn't know he won it twice. That's great. That's great because it had been years since a British, I was going to say a British boxer, a British tennis player had won Wimbledon. Didn't know he'd won it twice. By that time, I'd weaned off tennis. I've been off tennis for a long time, but I did see him win it once. I think the first time he won it, I watched him. That was the best ref call. Well, it turned out to be a good call. With hindsight, it did turn out to be a good call, but it still doesn't get away from the fact that any other ref would have waved that off. So it's two sides of the coin. Two sides of the coin. So that's why I don't get too out of shape when people say, oh, Fury should have won. Well, yeah, you can say that, but on the other side of the coin, he could have been called off. So, boom, it's like even, Steven, whatever, to draw. Fair enough. Refs usually snub that. Same thing happened at Bellew Usyk. Bellew was finished, though. Bellew was finished. Unless talking about some other element. Jack Reese is a first responder. He explained it. First responder. First responder. What does he puts out fires and stuff like that? Is he a fireman now? Is Jack Reese a fireman now? Based on how he looked getting knocked down by Cunningham, I think Fury might have been a bit stunned. Damn. For a few seconds, reaction to getting dropped. He looked like he was out cold. He looked like he was unconscious. Looked like he was out unconscious. Yes. Much appreciation for Eric for jumping on. Yes. So I think we've done it. I think we've chopped it up. Got a lot of opinions, various opinions, differing opinions. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. I don't even think I put the thumbnail in. I don't even think I put a proper thumbnail in. So I'll have to do that in post-production. You like it? Boom, boom, boom. And so where are we now? Well, we've just watched Harper v. Jonas. Surprise. I thought Harper was I'm gonna have to send Jonas my apology tweet. I'm sure she remembered when I tweeted. I tweeted that Harper was gonna beat her by working behind the jab, and Jonas actually liked my tweet. I thought, uh-oh. So now, I'm going to have to do the gentlemanly thing and invite Jonas to an apology meal in the East Wing of the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ. It's a gentlemanly thing to do. The Rafi's a decent fella. So certain things have to be done. OMG. Stop sharing whatever I was sharing. I don't even know I was sharing anything. OMG. Yeah. So what's this? Line this up properly. Line this up nice and sweetly. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do that. Okay. So where are we? Not joking. Yeah, I know you're not joking. I know you're not joking. What I was joking about was the concept that he's using that first responder thing in the boxing ring. You know what I mean? Where's your stepladder, Jack? Good exposure for her. Yeah. I might. I could do it live, couldn't I? Because while we're having the candlelit meal, I could actually live broadcast the candlelit meal at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ. You know what I'm saying? You get to see the butler usher her in. You know, you get to see the butler drop the drawbridge over the moat and welcome her in on horse and carriage. You know, we do things in style over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ. Yeah, I hear you. You know, the Rafi's busting a couple of jokes right about now. But hey, I'm not joking about the meal. Natasha, if you're listening, I'm going to hit you up on Twitter and invite you over to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio for an apology meal. You know, I think it's the right thing to do. It's the gentlemanly thing to do. Okay, guys. It's been fun chopping it up with y'all. Wasn't going to go live. I was getting some nice sleepy time. It's hot. 80 degrees up here in the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio HQ. I'm probably going to do something. Tomorrow. But you know, it's so sunny. I would never disrespect Natasha like that. You know, and if it was that, then it'd have to be brought to her on a silver tray. OMG. Okay. I'm thinking about doing a lunchtime thing tomorrow. But you know, with the sun shining like this, sun shining so nicely every day over here in the UK, certainly in the West Midlands, sun is beating down. We're in a bit of a heat wave. And so those times, you know, you got to be outdoors. So we'll see. But probably going to drop a live show sometime tomorrow around the lunchtime-ish. Yeah, around lunchtime-ish. So look out for that. There's various topics other than this to discuss, and maybe we talk about this too. So look out for that around midday. Look out for that. Yes. And so what else is there for me to say? This is the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live shows. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. And don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. And I think it's time that we have the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio butler see us out. And the only thing left for me to say is blessed.